It's all about testing. When you connect to the unit, it first tests the cable. So it starts at the tester, it tests the cable, make sure that the cable is proper. If there's an open or short or cross pairs or something wrong with the cable, it'll tell you, hey, you got a problem with the cable. From there, it will go to the wired infrastructure. It'll go to the first switch. It'll also, at the same time, start testing to the nearest wireless access point. Because a lot of time in today's environments, you've got both wired and wireless, and being able to test both of those is extremely important. It also will go to the gateway. It will look for local services and verify that they're active and that they're performing properly, things like DNS and DHCP. You'll then start performing Wi-Fi performance downstream. You'll start sending packets, small little test packets, downstream and also upstream. It will then also look for local applications. Look for the local data center and verify you got TCP connectivity to the data center and to local file services. You will then go to the corporate cloud, go to your internet, through your internet, to look and make sure you got connectivity and proper performance to your local data center. And then lastly, also go to the public cloud. Go to the internet, go to maybe cloud-based services that your corporation is relying upon. Now, it can do just one of these, or it can do all of these. And that can be all automated and scripted and set up and run automatically, which is where the power is. Also, in our most recent version, we just updated this already. We've added also local discovery as well, both on the wired side as well as the wireless side. So we've added that functionality too. So the beauty of this is all this functionality is automating it and being able to put it into the hands of a less skilled technician who can then still run those tests and get the job done. So we've engineered what we call profiles that can be stored. They can be manually created from the front panel and stored, given a unique name. And when there's a problem, maybe at a remote site, you can give this to a junior technician. He can go out to the remote site and run tests and generate reports on his own. We've taken essentially what is typically 1 hour of troubleshooting using multiple tools and put it down to literally a 1-minute test using one single powerful tool. And some of these tests can actually run, full test in under 10 seconds. Very graphical user interface. If there is a problem, you see the top bar will be red, so immediately the user will know, hey, there's a problem here. So, so one of the tests it's running has found a problem. And there's also a red check mark indicating which particular of these tests has failed. So you can then drill in, and in this case, you can see that a limit for an FTP, a file transfer of 10 megabit, had been set for 5 seconds. Taking no longer than 5 seconds. It took longer than 5 seconds, so you got to fail. So each of these tests, these layer of tests, you can set limits for. So not only are you checking for the availability of these functions, but also the performance of these functions. So very importantly, also link testing. Basically, here we're looking at basically doing a CRM sign-in. So very detailed analysis of the actual TCP/IP packet transfer from one layer to another. You can also capture these packets and monitor or decode them and look at them offline in a PC. Wi-Fi performance. Tons of Wi-Fi networks out there, and they're growing rapidly. A lot of problems in Wi-Fi networks. So we put a very specific, special set of tests in here that we brand, we trademark, called Verify. So again, we've taken very powerful Wi-Fi testing, fully automated it with very deep, detailed analysis and drill in when you have a problem, so you can really understand what the problem is. Wi-Fi analysis tools. We automatically discover networks, access points, clients, and channels, so you get full visibility of what's going on your Wi-Fi network. Discover key properties such as the SSID, signal levels, security, addressing, utilization, bands, all that stuff. And again, you can use the tools to drill in deeper and really see what's going on on your Wi-Fi networks. Give you visibility into WLANs, into access points, clients, and channels. So basically you can sort this, you can drill, analyze all this data very easily, very effectively from the front panel. Also analyzing the wired side of the network. We automatically discover hosts, access devices, and servers. Discover key properties, addresses, locations, VLAN, local statistics, and we do this for both IPv4 and IPv6. Right, very important today. A lot of companies still just on IPv4, but more and more companies are migrating to IPv6. A lot of companies have both. And this tester can test all these both on IPv4 and on IPv6. Again, very powerful diagnostics and reporting functionality for testing that wired side of the network. Sort by different options, by name, by address, by broadcast, by switch port, just to give you some examples. The clock's not running, so I don't know how much time I've got. The beauty of this also is all this testing and analysis that it does, it's also storing all that information and giving you the ability then when you go back to your desk to print out a report. So if it's a front technician who's responsible for helping a help desk manage help tickets, he can go back, print reports, and close out those trouble tickets automatically using this tool. Also, very importantly, we decided to add ability to capture packets. That's typically not a function that you see on a handheld tool. But again, as a last resort, when problems are very elusive and very troublesome to track down, usually the last tool of resort is to pull out the old protocol analyzer and capture packets and actually get down to the bit level and see what's going on. We decided to put that functionality in here. We got a memory card here where you can capture packets right here on the card. You can then wirelessly transmit that PCAP file from the tester to a computer, to a more skilled technician, maybe your engineer who understands how to decode packets. But a very powerful feature that we've included here. Decode on a PC or also on one of our other tools such as an OptiView. Also very important, collaboration. Collaboration in several ways. One is, as I've stated several times, being able to put this in the hands of a junior technician with a previously set up test methodology that he can go out, he can run some tests, he can see the pass or fails and maybe do a certain level of troubleshooting, but maybe up to a point where he needs to call in an expert. Very easy for an expert to remote into this from a desktop and be able to see what's going on, be able to look at captured packets, actually even to control the unit and help guide that junior technician on site on maybe what some next steps are to take to using this tool to help test. So something we're going to be expanding even more on is this ability to report and to collaborate with different outside users. So multiple outside users can be using and controlling this tool at one given time. And then we've also added a very broad range of additional tools, such as a browser, telnet, you can telnet into devices, a toner and flash hub ports, so it can generate tones where you can use a tone probe to tone cables. Several additional tools that are just ancillary in the tool that make it just a very rounded, complete toolkit for a technician who's responsible for wired and wireless networks. I mentioned that we talked to a lot of engineers about how they troubleshoot problems and how much time it takes. And I actually had originally I had an ROI calculator ROI calculators are very valuable, but typically they need to be very personalized to a given individual or instance. So I took that out, but I just wanted to highlight that basically what we've done is we've taken the ability or given a tool that we feel will greatly compress the amount of time it takes to identify, isolate, and solve problems. And we all know time is money, right? So the more problems that you can solve in a given day makes your employees more effective, more efficient. And the shorter there's a network problem on the network that's causing users to be inefficient or ineffective in their day-to-day job is also money saved for the corporation. So the ROI, the return on investment for a tool like this, we believe in in a typical environment is going to be very significant. So that's my talk. That's a lot of information in 20 minutes. We've got units out here on our stand if you'd like to come by and ask some more questions, get a feel to touch and feel and operate the unit. And you can see it still works even though I dropped it. Right? I know Dennis is worrying, but I don't worry. These things they're built like tanks. Please come by, and we'll be happy to tell you more about the product. There's a lot more than I can tell you in just 20 minutes of what this thing can do and the power in it and the value that it brings to our customers. So with that, I've got a short video, right, that I like because it says basically everything I did in about a minute and a half, and we'll close with that. So with that, thank you very much.
Network problems demand fast solutions. The Fluke Network's One-Touch AT seeks out the most common network problems from the client to the cloud in about a minute. It starts by testing the cable and the connection to the nearest switch before checking all devices on the local network and the gateway router. The One-Touch AT also connects to your wireless network and discovers all the local wireless devices. The unique Verify feature tests the performance of the wired and wireless networks by sending traffic from the wired to the wireless side and back again. From there, the One-Touch AT tests the performance of key network services including DHCP and DNS and applications such as file servers and call managers. Then, it tests the availability and response time of services in the corporate cloud all the way out to applications hosted in the public cloud. A single touch condenses an hour of troubleshooting down to a minute's work, and pass-fail results pinpoint the source of your problem. The Fluke Network's One-Touch AT Network Assistant, client-to-cloud troubleshooting in 60 seconds.